You don't want to be like, well, I just need a virtual assistant. You need to be specific.
It never works that way. And
okay.
Yeah, what I mean is it's never successful.
Right.
You could offer me 200 grand more than I paid for it. I still wouldn't sell.
Because where are you going to go?
Where am I going to go?
Welcome back to our interview with Bob LaChance. This is part 4 of 4. If you have not seen 1, 2, and 3, do not miss them. They're awesome. And to be notified for all future videos, please be sure to subscribe. Bob, we know you own REVA Global. It's an amazing real estate virtual assistant company. We use it ourselves. I want to get into a couple of things that are super important. Best practices when, look, maybe not everybody on the planet is going to use your company, but what are some of the best practices for somebody to look for in a VA, whether it's Fiverr, Upwork? Is there something that sticks out in your mind that you kind of want to be conscious of when you're hiring that first VA for a real estate investor?
That's a very good question. And the simple answer is you got to know what you want before you even reach out to a VA company at all, because that's the common theme I see is like, hey, they'll come to a strategy session, if you will, or they'll hire a VA and they're like, all right, what do I do now? Rather than coming prepared. So for instance, if you're looking for someone who's you need some lead generation help, you know that, hey, a VA could do A, B, C, and D. If you're looking for transaction coordinating help, they're managing between the buyer, seller, attorneys, etc. Right? If they're doing lead managing and you want a follow-up virtual assistant, all the leads that you have in your database are going to be picking up the phone and calling each and every day. So just up front, know exactly what you want. It doesn't have to be 100% exact, but know about 80, 90% of what you want them to do, because I've seen this happen so many times where whether it's, you go to a different company than mine, where they'll hire someone, well, this didn't work. So I'll ask them a question. Did you know what you wanted them to do? Well, no. So it's the same thing if you hire someone. If we hire someone, they're sitting in the seat and we're like, hey guys, what should they do? We're like, I don't know. That's going to be a failed employee. Same kind of concept.
Okay. Yeah. So you really want to hone in. You don't want to be like, well, I just need a virtual assistant. I just need help. Like, you need to be specific.
It never works that way. And
okay.
Yeah, what I mean is it's never successful.
Right.
You should really, as the person hiring the VA, you should put in a lot of time to create a checklist or go through a day and maybe you journal like everything you did in one day and circle the things that you're like, I can outsource this, I can outsource that. And then start to compile a list, hire the VA based on that list, right? Yep. Have a task list for them to complete.
So non-producing tasks, right? You look at everything you do on your calendar, grab your phone, right? And put down all the non-producing tasks. Like for instance, lead generation is a non-producing task.
1,000%.
Right? It takes a ton of time, a ton of energy. We'll get burnt out here. So it's a great task to outsource to a VA, as an example.
Yep. And I think one thing, if this is going back a couple of years when we first hired Judith from Riva, I mean, generally, it's not going to be the VA's first time working with, say, real estate investors. So like with us, we wanted specific things, and the people that we interviewed had already done those things for other people. So I think that's huge, is like, all right, okay, we want these things. Okay, here's a list of VAs. How many of these VAs have actually done these tasks for other people? How many people have they done them for? Were they successful? What's the track record? That's huge.
Yeah, having the experience prior to, it's in any type of hiring. I know we've said that a couple of times. So you look at any resume, you look at any track record prior to where you hire them, and if you like them, great. And if not, then move on to the next.
And I think in this business, when we're doing, say, cold calling, it's tough, right? Like,
hey, I did it for a year. I door knocked.
You did door knocking. I mean, that's
door knocked, and I called at night. So it's that beats you up pretty bad.
Yeah, you definitely want someone that's had experience on the phone. There's nothing wrong with like a first timer per se, but like if someone has already worked for another real estate investor for a year, they've been on the phone all day, like that is going to go so much further than just maybe a first timer. And with your company, I know that you kind of go through their experiences.
In the Philippines, it's a big call center area.
True.
So a lot of the individuals that we bring on already have that type of experience.
Got it.
What's the future for REVA Global look like? Where are you going with it?
Every year we're looking at, bringing on different lines of businesses in kind of the virtual assistant space, like added medical. There's other lines of business that you could jump into, auto, different types of industries, insurance, et cetera, mortgage companies, title companies, et cetera. So
you have roughly 1,000 VAs right now, and they're spread out between real estate and medical for the most
Correct.
part?
Yeah, we have marketing companies kind of lumped in there as well, and
Okay.
a couple different types of lines of business.
Wow.
Are they all hired at the? I mean, is there some that are sort of like waiting for employment and?
So those are the ones that are actually working for us and with clients.
Got it.
So,
Wow.
and we have our model is on the medical side, it's full-time virtual assistants, and on the real estate, we have part-time or full-time. So it's 20 hours a week or 40 hours a week.
Right.
So it's a little different model on each one.
Yeah. I kind of like how you do that because it gets. I mean, correct me if I'm wrong, but like it gets kind of messy when you're just like task based. Right. Here's 20 hours or 40 hours. Pick.
That's it.
That's
Yeah.
it. There's no like, oh, we're going to do 3 hours this week and 4 the next.
It's tough to run a business that way. You know, I've tried a lot of different ones. It's tough. Yeah, it's unpredictable, and it's very. Because think about this, you'll have a lot of turnover. That's why you look at those companies like you said, like Upwork, that there's a ton of turnover because if you're only hiring for 2 hours, then they're going to be working for 7 other people, and if they get someone who pulls them full time, then you lost that 2 hour person.
Yeah.
So it's very, very difficult to manage that and to actually have someone who's going to be loyal to you.
What I love, and I don't know, so Ryan really is the one who kind of, did that 20% of training, Judith, and she's awesome. We love her. But what I love most, one of the things I love most is that at the end of every day, she'll give us a spreadsheet breakdown of what she accomplished. So I don't know if that's something that you had her do, if that's something that Riva...
It's the end of day report that we make.
So the Riva, okay, that's a Riva thing.
And a start of day.
Yeah.
Oh,
and a start of day.
Yeah, so all of our virtual assistants that they do is they give you a start of day report and an end of day report. The reason why that's valuable, obviously you guys know that, is because you want to know what your virtual assistant did, within that time. Because if they're cold calling, you want to know how many calls, how many connects, how many leads they sent, as an example. Right. So that'd be a perfect example of what you guys just talked about.
Exactly. Yeah.
No, it's just while we have a couple more minutes, you have a lot of experience in real estate. You've done it all. You've flipped, you've wholesaled, you property management, buy and hold rentals, creative finance, sales, cold calling, door knocking. You've done it all. Where do you see the state of the market going? Yeah. Do you plan on doing more wholesaling? Do you plan on doing more flipping or buy and holds? Just curious your thoughts.
Well, interest rates, I think, are going to tick down a little bit. I mean, there's a lack of inventory out there. There's only so much land out there. We know this, especially in Connecticut, right? There's not a ton of land to build new projects on. So I think, with the amount of buyers that are in Connecticut, we have a strong market. And I think it's the same around the country because, home building is it's not keeping up with the growth of people, in essence, right? There's more people than houses. Yep. So I think, me personally, I think we're going to have a strong market for a number of years. I know, everyone's talking about, hey, we're in a recession, we were in a recession.
I haven't seen it.
None of us have seen it. It wasn't like back in 09, 10, 11. I was investing back, and then that was challenging.
Yep.
That was challenging. Now I haven't felt it. I don't know if you guys have felt it.
We slowed down in the wholesale business this year, but again, it's just lack of inventory because so where's the seller going to go? They're relocating to Florida, which that's the reason why they'd sell, or maybe they're going into, if they're older, going to a nursing home. But other than that, why would I sell? Like, I have a single family house in West Hartford now. I bought in 2020. Okay. I have a 30-year mortgage at 2.875. You could offer me $200,000 more than I paid for it. I still wouldn't sell.
Because where are you going to go?
Where am I going to go? Yeah.
Right.
So that's the challenge that we found is a lot of people who are still living in the houses that we're marketing to, and we do a lot of out of state investors as well, but there's still a lot of owner occupants that we had the opportunity a couple of years ago to wholesale their property, but now they're just like, well, Mike, where am I going to go? I'm like, I couldn't agree more.
Yep. That's a valid question. So we have to do on that side of it too. You find out what their motivation is, right? If is it getting an equity then renting? So we as investors just have to find out that motivation. We haven't felt it that bad, to be honest with you. Okay. We do a lot of volume. We do a lot of lead generation. So we weed through that. Yep. But have we heard that? Of course. Yeah. 100%.
Yeah. Yeah.
You said you were in a whole bunch of different states, not just Connecticut. Is it the same feeling in other states? Is Connecticut comparable to other ones?
Yeah. I mean, this is what we found. I mean, someone listening to this in California in a certain market may feel a little different, but in general, if I had to do a broad stroke, I would say for us, we have not felt it.
Okay. That's good.
That's really interesting.
What, as a long-term buy and hold investor, what asset class do you like the most right now? Do you like Single family rentals, multifamily rentals,
Yep.
self-storage, industrial, office.
See, I have friends in all those spaces, but the easiest answer is single family. Here's why.
Single family.
Okay.
I was not
All right,
expecting
let's-
that.
Here's why.
All right.
Here's
Okay.
why. You have one tenant, right?
Yeah.
And then you just have to evict them. If you run into whatever challenges, you could sell that asset like that.
Sure, it's very
Right?
liquid.
A
More
three,
liquid.
a three family, you have 3 tenants you got to deal with.
Yep.
If you got to evict all of them, now you got to go through the whole process.
Right.
In multifamily, it's a lot harder to get financing for, you know that, and the financing side. So I look at it, it's easiest to buy a single family house and to exit a single family house.
Right.
That's the only reason why I'm saying it. All
Okay.
asset classes are very good, but that's the only reason
You
why
know
I'm
what?
saying it.
Management as well, though. I mean,
Yeah.
I don't know about you, but like for any single family rental, I would make it onus of the tenant to do the snow and the lawn and
Correct.
put all that, and at
You
least
can-
your expenses go way down.
You can almost make it like a little triple net deal. Like
Right.
they can take over the electric, the gas, they can do the snow, they can do the lawn.
water sewer. There's one water
Right.
sewer bill goes right there, and
Yeah.
a multifamily. I don't know.
You
right-
can make it their house in essence, but you own it.
Yeah,
And they can pay
you pay the
everything.
taxes
Right.
and insurance,
And
that's
I always
it.
look at the exit of it, right? Because I'm in a syndication deal. I'm like, all right, I want my money back, but I can't get
Yeah.
my money back because it's stuck in
That
that
shit's
deal.
locked up.
That's
Yeah.
locked up.
Yeah.
So that's it. And again, I have buddies in every asset class that you guys said, and they'll argue one side of it.
Yeah.
I'll just give you my opinion, which is
No, I really
the
like
easier
that.
way
Yeah.
to get out of it.
Makes
Yeah,
sense.
I really
That's
like
what's
that.
the beauty of real estate is there's
Right.
so many different ways to skin a cat. You can
Yep.
do wholesaling, you can do
Absolutely.
flipping, you can do buy and holds, you can do single family rentals, multifamilies. I mean, we don't have any single family rentals, but we have office buildings, mixed use, and multifamily. I'd love to get in self storage. I just can't seem to find any that makes sense. I think industrial makes sense, more of like a triple net building.
And I don't know anything about those because
Yeah.
I've never jumped into it. So that's the reason why I'm more of
Yeah.
a residential guy. So that's why
Invest in what you know.
yeah. Hey, I lost 150 grand on a knockdown rebuild in Greenwich, Connecticut. I'll tell you what I won't do again.
Did you
That.
really?
Back in 2005.
No kidding.
Damn.
Yep.
Okay.
So you tore down a house and you were going to rebuild it.
So
and-
we got under contract and it was all set up to go. You know, it was one of those deals where it can't miss. You got to do it or you're going to lose out on the can't miss deal. Those do not exist. So trust me, do not get into any of those because
Wow.
if you don't have enough due diligence, don't get into it.
Yeah. Wow.
Yep.
Stick to what you know.
Part of the game though.
Yeah.
Yeah. What are you going to
You
do?
get it.
Yeah.
Can't win it all. So, well, I really appreciate your time. You covered a lot. We talked about REVA Global. We talked about Perch Rock, state of the market, your own, personal experience getting out of hockey into real estate. And I assume you haven't looked back. So, thank you again. Really appreciate
you
your
so
time.
much.
And I'm sure we'll run into in the future here.
At the golf course. At
Hell
the,
yeah.
Having
go.
dinner.
Yeah.
But I appreciate it. Thanks for having me.
Thank
guys.
you so much.
Appreciate it.
Thank you.
All right. Thank you for watching Sky's the Limit. We're always releasing new real estate content, so if there's something you want to hear, be sure to leave a comment. And don't forget to subscribe to our channel.
And remember, sky's the limit, dive deep, and invest in how you want to live. See you in the next video.